Howdy folks, welcome back to the channel. I wanted to make a special video today. Today is March 19th, 2022. 3 years ago, I bought this 1968 John Deere 112. This was my second garden tractor I have owned, but this was my second one. My first tractor was a 1986 212, but this tractor has been a pretty big part of the channel. I don't have the 86 212 anymore, but I do have this tractor still. I think this is actually this was actually the first tractor that I got running and used after sitting for about 20 years in an open pole barn. I wanted to make a video today in honor and remembrance of this tractor, as well as I wanted to make a video for you guys. I want to aim this towards the just getting into the hobby collector, just getting their first garden tractor. When I say garden tractor, I mean something older than the 90s. I don't mean something from 2 years ago or 3 years ago that's brand new from Lowe's. I'm talking an actual garden tractor that's actually able to do work. Something over 20 years old, like I said, not something that's just 2 years old and not really a classic. This is more towards the person getting into this hobby, like I said, when it comes to these older tractors. So I wanted to make a video today on this tractor since I've had it now for 3 years. Hard to believe. I feel like it's been a little bit longer than that, but I guess so. I actually bought the tractor March 9th, 2019. The first ever video I filmed on this tractor was March 19th, 2019. I don't know why there was such a gap in between there, but I figured, well, the first time I ever filmed the tractor was March 19th. The day I bought the tractor was March 9th. March 9th has already passed. So I thought, you know, I'm going to make a video on it for you guys. And on the same day that I filmed a video on it 3 years ago. So let me set up a chair. I'm going to put you guys in the stand. And I'm going to talk about it because I'm getting tired of holding this camera. And yeah, I want to sit down next to it and I want to talk about it. Now I'm going to get into, this is aimed at the person just getting into the hobby. I'm going to be completely honest with you. This is expensive. Prices tend to go up really, really fast when you're buying a tractor. A lot of people like to have everything there. I am actually one of those people. Now for me, I'm lucky to have a big enough shop that I can fit stuff in. I have an upstairs in this shop. I can fit parts upstairs, and I can put pieces and parts up there. If I want to have an extra hood, I have an extra hood up there. I've got some extra engines. I've been into this now pretty well that I have an idea as to what I want and what I need. As well as you're going to want to get yourself a parts tractor. A parts tractor is a tractor for your tractor that you're working on, you're fixing up. You want a parts tractor that's not as nice as one of these. You want to get one. Usually when I get a parts tractor, I want one less than $100, $100 or $200 at most. I try to get them cheaper than that, but if I can't, well, and it's got a piece or part I need on it. Because parts are expensive. People seem to overprice parts for whatever reason. If you ask me. So, some things on there you can find, other things you really can't find unless you have a parts tractor. So, I bought this tractor. I actually bought my 212. I wasn't intending on getting into the hobby of collecting. I wanted the reason I bought that 212, we have a 0 turn. I know you guys have seen it on the channel. We We've had it for a little while. I wanted something I can use. I wanted something of my own. I wanted a tractor. That's actually my mom's, that's not mine. Was my dad's before he passed away. He bought that. I don't know how many years ago he bought that tractor, that mower. And then I wanted something of my own. You can't really work one of those too well. They don't have any weight in the front end, as well as they don't have a steering wheel. You can't really steer them too well, especially in wet ground. This tire over here will spin out while this tire is still trying to spin. You can't steer them at all. They don't have a steering wheel. It's two levers like a skid steer. And that's how you steer. And then your front wheels are just swivel casters. They just swivel around. I wanted something I could use. I wanted a tractor. I didn't want a zero turn. So I found my 1986 212. I bought that tractor September 28th, 2018. That tractor, when I got it, I knew it had some issues. It needed new rings in the engine. It burned a lot of oil. Other than that, everything on it was good. Now I got to give myself cut myself a little bit of slack here, because when I first bought that tractor, I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. I ended up pulling the engine completely apart for God knows what reason. I ended up timing the engine wrong a little bit, and I never got that engine to run again. I ended up buying another 212. I pulled the engine out of it and I stuck it in that tractor. I got that tractor running. I sold that tractor. It was the biggest mistake I could have ever made. I don't know what I was thinking at that time. I sold it because there was another, I bought my 86 216 in there I have that I mow the yard with. And I sold a couple other tractors. I didn't get what I wanted out of the one. So I was scrambling around trying to think of what I wanted to do and how I was going to pay for that. Plus the tractor was already here. So I was in a little bit of a panic. So I sold the 212 and I finished paying for that. It was a little bit of a stressful experience, you know, but I do know who owns that tractor though. I do talk to them. I told them if they ever plan on selling it, let me know. I'm interested in it. So, when I bought this tractor 3 years ago, it had a Tecumseh HH100. The engine that it had was actually, as far as I know, not the original engine. That engine had the same block as a Sears had all the same tins as a Sears had and everything. The Tecumseh engines that came with the John Deere's had a different block, as well as a different shroud on the front of them, different regulator, pretty much everything. This tractor had an this engine had an interesting regulator on it, as well as a front shroud. The block was different. There was a few things that kind of gave it away that it wasn't the factory engine. That engine was on this tractor. I got that engine running. I used it. I used it for, I want to say, 2 months. And then that engine, the camshaft, split in half. I ended up buying another 1968 112. It had a yellow hood. It had a patio hood on it, a patio seat. I know that tractor's on the channel. If you go back and look, you'll be able to find it. I bought that tractor for the engine. I pulled the engine out of it and I stuck it in this tractor. For a while, it was a good engine, but that while was a very, very short time. I think the Tecumseh, when they built their engines, they wanted something that would last for a little, not very long. Now keep in mind the engine was about 50 years old, give or take. So it's got a little bit of an excuse. That engine was actually never messed with, never taken apart. It was, as far as I know, completely original. I don't think that it had a different piston in it or anything when I got it. It was still the standard bore, no markings on the piston that I saw. So I don't think that engine's really ever been into or messed with. The seal, I got the engine in the tractor. When I first got it running, it ran fine. I used it, I mowed once with it, and I said, good engine. And then the coil went out on me. The solid state coil quit, stopped working, I lost spark. I ended up putting a different solid state coil on it, and I managed to get it to work. It was the one that came out of the engine that was originally on this tractor. Luckily, I had kept it. I used it. The engine at some point in time, it did it, I don't know when it started doing it. I think it did it the entire time I owned it. But when it was in that yellow hooded tractor, there was oil everywhere up here in the front end. I always wondered why there was so much oil there. And it didn't really start showing its ugly face until I started using the tractor a little bit more. I don't think that tractor was used very much by the previous owners of it. That tractor, that engine, I don't know what the deal was with it, but it would blow engine out the breather hose. And it wasn't just a drip over here and there. It would just full on blow oil right out that, it would blow oil right out that that crankcase breather. And I watched it the one day and I'm thinking, wow, that's a lot of oil. And the oil level would go down real fast and you could just see it dripping down off the frame. And there would be this giant puddle underneath the tractor. I know there's still a puddle in there from it. Where I used to park this tractor, there's still a puddle right there from all the oil leaking down. So I said, well, okay, something has to be done about this. So the engine ended up getting pulled apart, replaced the piston rod as well as the rings. I also went through the breather assembly, made sure the breather assembly looked okay. I also made sure that the back piece was in the correct way and that there was a hole in it for the oil to drain back into the engine, which there was. But for whatever reason, get the engine all put back together. Oh, a seal had blown out as well. One of the seals, I think the one behind the flywheel had blown out. And so it was pissing oil everywhere out the front of the engine as well. There's another reason why I pulled that engine apart. So I ended up rebuilding that motor, new rings, new rod. Like I said, went through it, made sure everything else was okay. The bore looked okay. So put it all back together, got the engine running. It ran good for a little while, and then the same exact problem started again. It was blowing oil. It blew a lot more oil out this time than it did last time. My thought was, okay, maybe it's just got blow by. Maybe the rings are wore out and it's just got blow by, excessive blow by. And therefore it's blowing all the oil out of itself. So just put new rings in it and see what happens. Well, it was still blowing oil out of it. And if you watched the exhaust, sparks would come out of it. You notice it at night. I have no idea what the deal was with the sparks. And then when you throttled the engine down, it would just shoot out fire. So I tried adjusting the carb several times, but I could never get it to run right or quit smoking and sparking out the exhaust. So I said, you know, I'm going to have to look for another motor. So I came across a 1970 112. It had the Kohler K241 engine on it. That engine was on here for, I want to say 6 months. That engine was on this tractor. When I put that engine on this tractor, I had to cut into the frame a little bit because the engine would not mount into the tractor. The flywheel shrouds on the K-Series dipped down a little bit below the oil pan for some reason. The older Kohler K-Series had a flat oil pan on them, and then their flywheel shroud would dip down just a little bit below that. They never exactly set flat unless you had the front of it taken off. I don't know why Kohler did that, but I guess it was because of the flywheels, how big the flywheels were. So they did that. So therefore, I had to cut the frame a little bit on this tractor to get the engine to fit. I got the engine to fit, and I ran it. The engine ran fine, but unfortunately that motor was a little bit wore out. It ran fine, it sounded great, but it lacked power. It had okay power, it would mow fine, but it did lack power. And it felt like it was starting to get a little bit worse. I think the rings in that engine were wore out. When you throttled the engine up, it would blow out blue smoke. You could smell oil. It didn't smoke when it was running. It didn't smoke at all, but you could smell the oil, and you could watch the oil gauge, the oil level go down on the dipstick. So it definitely needed something done. I ran that engine for about 6 months. I used the tractor with that engine as well. And then I ended up, at the same time as this was going on, I had my 1969 112 patio, the one with the red hood. I rebuilt that engine for the patio. I stuck that engine in the patio. I thought, you know, this engine, I don't really need a rebuilt engine in this tractor. I'm not going to use this tractor except for just riding it around and showing it off at shows, which I haven't taken it to a single show. And I thought, you know, I really don't need a rebuilt motor in this. So I pulled the rebuilt engine out of it. I stuck the rebuilt engine in this tractor. I stuck that engine in the patio. It does not run yet. I need to get back into that tractor. That is the engine that is currently in this tractor. Rebuilt it, got it running good. Still runs good and it still runs strong. Today, it's still got that engine in it. I don't have any complaints about that motor. And then I used it for a while. It was a good tractor. I used it with that engine in it, but the transmission had it fits. When I first got the tractor running, I noticed the transmission would lock up in 2 gears. It wouldn't go anywhere, and you couldn't get it out of gear no matter how much you tried. You had to fight with it to get it to come out of gear. Sometimes it would lock up and sometimes it wouldn't. And when it locked up, you fought with it to get it out of gear. That and first and second gear were really wore out. You could slide it through them both and you wouldn't even notice second gear or first gear were there. You put it in second gear and you had a lot of play in second gear before it would start to come out of second gear, go to the neutral right here and go to first. Reverse was okay. Third gear was okay. Fourth gear was there, but it was kind of wore out. So the transmission would go into 2 gears. It would lock up on you. You wouldn't be able to move it, do anything with it. You couldn't push it to try to get it out of gear. You had to fight with the clutch, push the clutch in and out to get it to the side. You know, I want to work now. So after I put this engine in the tractor, I ended up taking that transmission out. The transmission's sitting over there, and I put the transmission in it that's in the tractor currently. I don't know if I filmed it or not. I don't think I filmed that actually. I think I've pretty much talked about everything that I've done with this tractor. I don't have a battery. I put a battery in it and some gas, but the tractor's currently winterized. I really don't want to start it up quite yet because it's not exactly the end of winter, and there's really no reason to right now. That's a PA system. Anyway, so like I said, I got the tractor. I put a lot of work into this poor thing. This tractor is going to be sticking with me probably the rest of my life. Probably more than likely the rest of my life. I don't plan on getting rid of this tractor. I did a lot of firsts with this tractor. I need to go reply to that. So I will get you guys, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I want to talk about on it or not. I don't think there is. Yeah, I've done a lot to this tractor in the time that I've owned it. I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. I know it was a different kind of video, but we got to... I told the story about my 68 112. I'd put some driving footage at the end of this, but I really don't want to do that. So I think I'm just going to make it just of the tractor. I want to thank you guys for watching today's video. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you want more tractor story time videos, April 15th, I bought my 1973, which is actually a 74, John Deere 112, sitting in the other room over there. In 2019, same year I bought this. So, if you're interested in another story time tractor video, let me know. Mainly I'll just do videos on the ones that I bought. When I first started doing the garden tractor hobby, I think it was this tractor, my 212. I had a John Deere 210, it was a 1975, but I bought that as a parts tractor. I do have that tractor still, but it's pieces and parts. Some of it I have, some of it I don't. The next tractor after my 68 was my LT 133. I sold that tractor a long time ago. And then I bought the 68 112, or not the 68, the 73 112. And I think after I bought the 73 112, that was it. So that was the ones that I got the first year that I started collecting. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Let's hear some of your tractor stories. I'd be curious to know some of your tractor stories. Film a video with the first tractor or the first tractor you've really ever worked on. Post it. Actually film it, don't post it. Send it to me. I am on Facebook. I am John Lenz on Facebook. I'm currently in messenger jail. But hopefully here soon I should be out of it. If you want me to air your story on your first garden tractor you've ever owned, like I did today, you can send me a video and you can tell me about your tractor. And if you want me to, I can put it in a little video to post on the channel. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for subscribing. I really appreciate you guys. I was on there looking today and we are at 594, I think it was, subscribers. So I'm really excited about that. I really want to thank you guys for watching my channel. I really want to thank you guys. I really mean it. I really enjoy making these videos for you guys. When I first started, I really didn't know what I was doing. I was just uploading to upload because I thought uploading videos was cool. I had seen other people on YouTube uploading videos and I always thought, you know, I really want to do that one day. And then I stepped out and started doing it myself, and well, here I am. So I really do appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for watching my videos. I know some of them aren't really that entertaining, but they're fun to make. I like them. I know there's people out there that like to watch them, especially my snow plowing videos. God almighty, everybody loves the snow plowing videos. So I want to thank you all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video. I really appreciate you guys' support for my channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. So yeah, take care.